What if you could take an official, maybe kind of dry safety guide and turn it into a simple, practical plan to protect yourself and your family from a storm? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're diving into a guide from the Abu Dhabi Public Health Center and breaking it down into clear, easy-to-follow steps so you can weather pretty much anything that comes your way. So, let me ask you something. When you picture the weather in Abu Dhabi, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably endless sunshine and clear blue skies, right? And you know what? You'd be right. The official guide even says the region is generally blessed with a stable climate and abundant sunshine. And most of the time, that's exactly what you get. It's beautiful, predictable weather. But, and this is the reason we're talking today, that is not the whole story. The climate there can also whip up some seriously dangerous conditions. I mean, we're talking about everything from flash floods and crazy high winds to blindingly dense fog and powerful sandstorms. And that right there is why having a plan is so important. Okay, so how do you even begin to plan for something that's so unpredictable? Well, the core idea in this guide is actually a really powerful shift in how you think about it. Instead of just reacting when the weather gets bad, we need to start thinking like a risk manager. Now, don't let a term like risk management freak you out. It's not some complicated corporate thing. All it really means is looking ahead, asking, hey, what could go wrong here? And then making a simple plan before you're in the middle of a crisis. It's just being smart and thinking ahead. You can actually break this whole idea down into 3 super easy steps. First, you identify the hazard. What's the potential problem? Let's go with high winds. Second, you assess the risk. How could this actually hurt somebody? Well, those winds could pick up your patio furniture and turn it into a dangerous projectile. And third, you implement controls. So what are you going to do about it? Easy. You secure those items or you just bring them inside. See, this simple 3-step process is the key to basically everything else we're about to cover. So with that framework in our back pocket, we can organize our entire safety plan into 3 simple phases. What to do before the storm hits, how to act during the storm, and the super important steps you need to take after it's all passed. Let's kick things off with phase 1, before the storm. And honestly, this is without a doubt the most important phase of them all. The stuff you do when the sun is still shining is what will really keep you safe when the weather takes a turn. So here's your checklist, straight from the guide. Just take a few minutes to walk around your place. Tie down or bring in those loose items on your balcony or in the yard. Double check that all your windows and doors close up tight. A simple walkthrough like this can prevent some major damage. And just as crucial, talk to people. Make sure your family and maybe even your coworkers know what's coming and what the plan is. Okay, so you've done all your prep. Fantastic. Now the storm is here. Your priority totally shifts now to just staying safe in the moment. That means staying inside if you can, but also knowing how to handle things if you absolutely have to be out on the road. It's really important to understand the different kinds of threats you might be facing. Heavy rain and fog, that's all about not being able to see and dealing with slick, slippery roads. High winds and sandstorms, on the other hand, are about pure physical force. You've got flying debris and the real risk of your car getting pushed around. Knowing the specific danger helps you react the right way. And the guide actually gives us some real numbers to go by. For example, once wind gusts get over 38 kilometers per hour, a lot of outdoor activities, and especially any kind of work being done up high, become way more dangerous. That's a really clear line in the sand to be aware of. And here's another critical number for you. When heavy rain or fog cuts your visibility down to less than 100 meters, driving conditions go from just being difficult to being downright dangerous. To put that in perspective, that's less than the length of a football field. When it gets that bad, you really have to ask yourself if your trip is worth the risk. So if you absolutely have to be on the road in those conditions, these rules are non-negotiable. Slow way down. Double your following distance. The guide says you need at least a 4-second gap. Use the right lights. And remember, it is always safer to pull over somewhere safe and just weed it out than to risk getting in an accident. Honestly, the smartest move is often just to stay put. Now, driving in high winds is a whole different ballgame. It's all about control. Again, the first thing you do is slow down. Be super cautious around big vehicles like trucks or buses because strong gusts can just shove them into your lane. And if you happen to be carrying something big and flat like a sheet of plywood, just know it can act like a sail and really mess with your steering. If you start to feel like you're losing control, just find a safe spot to pull over, away from trees or power lines. All right,
The wind has finally died down. The rain has stopped. It's really easy to breathe a sigh of relief and think the danger is over. But phase 3, after the storm, is all about dealing with the hidden hazards that get left behind.
So before you just jump back into your normal routine, it's so important to do another safety check. Look up for overhead hazards, like loose signs or damaged gutters that could fall. And be on the lookout for new dangers on the ground, like debris all over the roads or, and this is a big one, potential electrical damage anywhere near standing water.
So there you have it. We've gone through the before, the during, and the after. Now it's time to put it all together and make sure you've got your own personal weather safety plan locked in. If you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Your best protection isn't how you react in a panic. It's about the calm, thoughtful planning you do long before a storm is even on the radar.
And that really brings us to the final, most important question. After hearing all this, the checklists, the driving tips, the before and after plans, you have to ask yourself, is my plan ready for the next storm?
In the end, it all just boils down to this one simple truth. The absolute best response to bad weather is a plan you made during good weather. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there.